regular students in school who are ready for their examination. This is because, you see, once their families or parents have been affected, they are unable to give them money to even come to school to buy food for themselves. They will have to drop out. Those whose books, school uniforms, clothing, and other stuffs have been taken away have also dropped out of school because their parents don't have money to get them a school uniform. We want immediate intervention from the President of the Republic of Ghana. These are people that he have sworn to protect. These are people that he have sworn to be with them in times of their need. And so our passionate appeal to him is that, one, he needs to, as a matter of urgency, expedite action on the second phase of the project to cover those communities that are affected by the tidal wave. And secondly, there are some relief items that have been given to the communities affected. It is woefully inadequate. It is woefully inadequate, although they say half a loaf is better than bread, but we are looking forward to more of those things so that at least it will ameliorate the plight of the indigents going forward. The reason it seems that Keta has been hardly hit is that when you compare Salakope and Amutinu to Keta, one, you realize that this area, Salakope here, there are a lot of sand here. So immediately the sea flows here, the sand absorbs it. Besides, we are torn between the sea and then the lagoon. So anytime this place gets flooded, we have to break into the main road for the sea to gush into the lagoon. There are times that we use pumping machine to pump it to the lagoon. That is how come when you come here after some few hours that the tidal wave hit this place, you feel like there's nothing happening here. Now, Keta, they don't have anywhere to pump their water to. So anytime you visit there, you feel that that place has been hardly hit. That is not so. We have also been seriously affected.
Le namacho izipata enyeba chafura manya agbom yaramo ikaba mye boblo don na jiru kaka jiru ma konya ma mya gbokpo mu kan cho memra gbeba za gavema e ya va ijia mala bobo crowd e ya boblo domyela boblo go domyela e amo e ka chafura ro ma ofa uno mo shokata ogbele fiofio ofa la vio chichingo o mazio ha o chichingo bla o togbi o pro mama aromya mama o chichingo e opon no mo shokata o bla fio vai
nyi kwenya nwa kwenya ba mya kpongruru na kuhia kata jojo ncho gbaragba ke kwenya ba o va to chafo na mi chafo do du enu nya sa du na mi kokko kuhia tera ko nyi ba fia chafo chu afi ba ro fia ajiji tamyo manya myawe gogo chafo nto ba van eta jiruru mo ntonto odo ha chafo e ma gbo na va gbo tano oglo ba mya to tere chafo ngom tere chafo jiruru nto amate gbo na chafo kpoga ava do more gbo ta chafo ro tetan va tangi ko kwenya nroro ko nyara kuku na nyama du klo la bubu toko bo tro ko mya gbo klo mya no la ko ikunye bo do chafo na mi kuno nya sa do chafo ya ko ke mya ba afifafa ko mi fafa ngbu na mo nyung mya gbenon ro bo bubu mbegbe klo gbe shagbe jingra ka fa megbo ojo pleng ma o nyo ha mya ko te par ada taru bo fi na nya be mai ro khola va yo nyo mya yi na nya ba agbe mi va le Ghana mi va no mi ko vi ya na mo nyo va se ko jino ga mya la ka ma na va una mi ta mi nya ba va se ro glango meng na ba nya jila ya ro maro la mo le shu maro nya dono de viaro o nya ba dia va su ku ka ka chafo mo na na ba o mate su kwa damu ta mi re kuku na jiruru ta nyi kwoku na urororo kata ko nya ba o va do chafo.
This is still GhanaWeb special on GhanaWeb TV with me, Eche Atisu. We are here at Amutinu. It's in the Ketu South district of the Volta region. It's one of the communities that has been affected by the tidal waves. We are here in one of the primary schools in the area to speak to the headmaster. Good afternoon, sir.
Fine afternoon.
Please tell us your name.
My name is William Kofi Afarito.
Okay, so what's the name of your school?
The name of my school is Amutinu MA Basic School.
All right, and you have students or you have pupils who come from which kind of communities? Are they only from the Amutinu community?
No, majority of them come from Amutinu, but the rest come from Salakofe and then Adina.
All right, now let's come to the substantive issue. The issue of tidal waves. has this affected your school in any way? I want us to take a walk whilst you show us that. Has this affected your school in any way? Let's take a walk while we do that.
Okay. When I was posted to this school, it's barely 2 years now.
Okay.
When I came here, the sea was far away from the school.
Okay.
But less than a year now, the sea is almost nearer to the school building. So we've got the help of the government. Less than a year, this school will no more be here.
As I see it now, the beach is just some 200 or 300 meters away from your school block. You say this was not the situation. I can see the markings right on the floor. You say this could affect you, but how much of an effort have you made? You say you've been here for 2 years. How much of an effort have you made in trying to ensure that this help comes to you as easy as or as soon as possible?
Oh, anyway, one thing I can say is that the assemblyman is a staff member of the school.
Okay.
So anytime they come, they see the assemblyman. So if we can say something about that, unless you see the assemblyman. But all the time, people have been coming to promises. The FM stations have been coming. But so far, I can't say anything that this is the promise we are giving, unless we see the assemblyman.
You're an educationist. In the meantime, what kind of challenge, or even with what we've experienced so far, are your students worried in any way? What kind of fears do they show to you? All that are you aware of?
Oh, as for me, the way the students talk, I don't see that. I've not seen that they are worried, but it is the parents who are worried. But the students themselves, they don't worry. They don't care about it. But the parents, they are worried.
What kind of things do the parents tell you?
Oh, what they say is that sometimes the sea will enter their rooms. They may not be able to sleep. With a lot of things. Because of that, it is even affecting their economic activities.
All right. So this is still GhanaWeb Special. We are placing our focus on the effects of the tidal waves that have ravaged communities along the coastal lines of the Volta region, specifically the Ketu South into Keta areas. And so we are still speaking to a number of stakeholders in this area. As you can see, we are just at the beach line right now, just behind this Amutinu MA school, and you can see the line here. The headmaster tells me this is how far the water went, or the water came the last time, and if nothing is done about this, it could just escalate. You wanted to say something?
Yes. Sometimes the tidal waves enter the school
blocks.
The school blocks.
Okay.
So sometimes, in fact, if you come and see the situation here, you will not like it. So it is only these 3 days it has gone back a bit, but very soon it will come back again, and the tidal wave will just be splashing against the wall of the school. So we need the help of the authorities, those who are in authority who can help us. Other than that, the school will no more be here again.
As far as I'm concerned, we have 149 homes affected and 1,027 individuals that are being affected. We have Salakope, Agaveji, Adina, and Amuchinu being affected. Those are the communities, as far as I know, that are affected. We try to get a place for them temporarily so that those who are severely affected can have a place to put their heads. And some of them are in the church rooms, and others decided to perch at the end of their families that are at the higher grounds. A lot of them prefer to stay with their families. So as at now, that is what is going on. As far as I'm concerned, I had a discussion with the regional minister. I have to deal with the regional minister, and some discussions with the Minister for Works and Housing. As far as I know, there are a lot of preparation that is ongoing. As you could hear, the Minister for Works and Housing himself said there are a lot of preparation ongoing for this project to start as quickly as possible. But let me do this clarification. I will encourage the government not to do this sea defense to only the affected places. They have to extend it to Aflao border, because when it stops at maybe Adina, the rest of Denu and Aflao will be washed away with these tidal waves. So they have to do it up to Aflao border. And I'm sure if they want to do that, they have to do it in consultation with the Togolese counterpart. Because if they end it at the border, then the whole Lomé will be affected, and which will even come back to affect us in Ghana here. So it's a big project on its own.
Liam talked about the fact that his widow's might, he thanked some people who supported him to pull these things together. He mentioned the work he did on the sea defense when he was in government, having to build some sea defense and also in some communities boulders to break the waves.
Okay.
And we went to the worst hit area in Anglo. The school, Uvama.
Okay.
The place called Uva, so that would be, Uvama had a school which the tidal wave destroyed. So a new one had been put up, and that too has been destroyed. So that's the site we went to. I mean, it was very pathetic. And I hear that it has actually affected the estuary that's in Southstone. So they are also hit by the effects of the tidal wave. I think in their case, the sea has block the entry of the river into the sea.
Okay.
So those who need to move on boats and so on are unable to travel across anymore. So it needs dredging. So what GM said was that it probably needs dredging, but he was inviting engineers and those in hydro, something hydro, to come and take a look and advise the state so that the necessary action is taken to have the necessary dredge to alleviate the suffering of those people too. So what's happening is whichever water from the river to be entering the sea is now going into their communities and destroying as well, because it has no way to get into the sea.
I want to understand we know that the eventual solution to all of this is the call for a sea defense wall, which is what people have called for countless times. But in the interim, and knowing how intensive a project that could be, what are the kinds of things that you are looking at? I'm talking about you as the MP for Ketu South, your other colleagues in the neighboring constituencies. What are the other solutions that you are putting in place or looking out for?
No, the immediate medium-term intervention would be for the states to construct temporary accommodation, where the people who are worst hit can go and find solace whilst we look at the bigger picture of the sea defense. So they need to identify a place and quickly put up, it could be tents, it could be brick and cement, who knows, but something has got to be done so that those who don't have accommodation can find one. The reason why we are demanding for a temporary accommodation is that in our case, as in Ketu South, this is the third one. So if your sister's house was lost in the first one, then she comes to live with you, and then it hits you yourself in May, and then you all move into your family house, and then in November, the family house is also taken. That leaves you with nothing. That leaves you with people who. It's important that the state provides a temporary accommodation for. Know that we mean well, we should be able to do this. But so far, it's been, I think that the conversation I've had with the regional minister points to the fact that he agrees that it has to be done. In fact, he agreed way back in May that this is a thing that has to be done. And it's 5 months down the line. Why didn't he do it?
Okay. There are also concerns and calls for not just the building of sea defense walls around the areas that have been affected now. There are also concerns about the larger discussions on climate change, because the fear is that if these defense walls are built all the way to the Ketu South area, it could extend into the neighboring country, Togo, Lome. There are suggestions that this should be a collaborative effort between authorities here and those in our neighboring country, Togo. Is this something you subscribe to?
I have a situation I want it dealt with. Togo is a sovereign country. They are responsible for their citizens. I would like them to consider looking at finding the resources so that when we build ours to Aflaudi can continue. I don't think global warming is a secret. COP26 has just ended. Everybody knows about it. So I'm sure that they have their plans as a country. I'm not sure that we can love our neighbors more than ourselves. And so it is what it is. So what are we going to do? So because Togo will have a problem that they have to deal with, we should not solve our problem. I don't understand this kind of argument though. Right. On humanitarian grounds, we will empathize with them, but they don't have a problem right now. We have a problem. Can we solve it?
All along all the conversations we've been having about the tidal waves that have ravaged communities in the Volta region, the southern parts of the Volta region, the Anglo side with specific, all these have had to do with the climate change. And so we're here in, also within the Volta region, it's just around, this is Meet Me There, one of the most popular restaurants, sleeping areas that a lot of people come to while away their time and all of that. This place has also been affected by the tidal waves, heavily affected. And we have the manager here. He's going to give us some perspectives, give us an understanding of how badly the situation is. You're welcome to GhanaWeb.
Thank you. My name is Christian.
All right, Christian. Let's understand what kind of business you used to do here and how badly you've been affected.
Okay, so this is Meet Me There African Home Lodge. We have the lodge, which whatever we realize from the lodge, we push it into the NGO, which is working in the community. But now, as things stands now, we got a tidal waves that came in last Sunday night, and as we can all see, it has taken over our sitting area, taken over those rooms over there, and now business has come to a halt. We don't know when we are resuming business, because as this is all a sitting area which people sit and eat and drink, but now as it is, nobody can come here, and we don't know when this will drain down. So we are all just hoping for the best.
That's to say that this entire place, more or less like a lagoon now, used to be dry land.
Oh yeah, this is a dry land. No, the entire place is not a dry land. This is on the lagoon. Okay. Where we are standing is on the lagoon, but now it's in the lagoon. Yeah.
Okay. So that means that because of the tidal waves, what did you have guests here in the first place?
Yeah. So that fateful Sunday night, we got guests in all the rooms, but then we have to wake them up for them to go and refund them as well. So that affects business.
This has been a few days now. Yeah. How is Meet Me There coping, management of Meet Me There? You mentioned that you have an NGO that also helps people in the communities here. Yeah. How are you coping?
Well, not much we can do than to shut down. Well, as at now, we are just tidying up the mess that the sea has brought, hoping that it will drain down for us to start business. But then, as it is, that's affecting the workers here, and that's going to affect what we do in the community as well. Yeah.
A lot of people are calling for the construction of a sea defense wall. Is that the same thing you're calling for? And in the interim, if that is not done, what kind of thing are you going to do? Because yours is a business. What are you going to do in the interim to ensure that your place is still running?
Okay, if it's this the sea defense, if it's something within our power that we can do, we will have done it about 10 years ago, because I've been in all the offices with my letters that I know they can do something about the sea defense, but it never yielded anything.
What's the feedback you get?
Well, it will be done, but then when they start doing it, they end on the way at Aklotoko, and that's it. We have a monitoring camera from University of Cape Coast along the shore, and they came after one of their report. It's like, well, within the next 10-12 years to come, if nothing is done, this whole coast will be gone. Yeah, so we are just living in limbo here. Yeah.
All right. We're sorry about how badly you're affected. We hope that this is taken care of soon enough so that your business can also get back on track. From the Ketu South district to Keta, all the way to Anglonga, you've seen the devastation that the tidal waves have caused to many people, businesses, and properties along this way. And this has been a GhanaWeb special for GhanaWeb TV. Like many have asked for, the sea defense wall should be built for people around these coastal communities so that the recurrent damages that these tidal waves cause will be a thing of the past. My name is Eche Atisu, and this has been a GhanaWeb special.
Hello there. So on the 27th of November 2021, we would be hitting the streets of Accra for the GhanaWeb Road Safety Walk. Come join us as we interact with drivers and create more awareness about road safety in the country. Our convergence point is at the Presec Legon, and we would end at Delish Restaurant in East Legon. Don't worry, food and drinks will be sorted. Come, don't miss this worthy cause. My name is Na Oyokwote, host for Bistec on GhanaWeb TV.
The GhanaWeb Road Safety Walk is proudly sponsored by Somoko Ghana Limited, Verna Mineral Water, and Delish Restaurant.
So, come to the Milani Farms for your share. The Milani Farms is located at Akweti Junction, which is about 1 hour 30 minutes drive from Accra. Hi guys, we are back again, Charlie. If today is your first time on my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. So guys, I'm currently at this beautiful plantation, pineapple plantation, and I'm here with Seydou. Say hi.
Hi.
So Seydou is here with me, and Seydou is going to take us around the farm and take us to all the process and technique used here at the pineapple farm. So hi Seydou.
Hi Stella.
We've already met, but yeah, this is your first time meeting him. Yeah. So we are currently at the first part. So let's see how it goes.
Virtually these plants were planted in April up to August. So virtually they are some 5-6 months old. This field is about 180 acres fully planted, and then we are expected to start harvesting it from next year June.
Next year June.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's when we are starting to. So they are in their various stages of growth. Herbicide has been applied just some 2 weeks ago, so you can see the weeds turning brownish and dying, leaving the pineapple.
What is the first stage, like the first stage in pineapple production?
The first stage, yeah, it depends. I mean, you can start either from the land preparation or the seed production, but logically you should start from the land preparation. Yeah, I mean, you need to clear the vegetation if there is vegetation on the field. You'll be with the help of your machinery, either a bulldozer, a payloader, to clear the vegetation. Then you have to do your plowing, you have to do your subsoiling, you have to do your harrowing, and then you cut your ridges, which they are very important. So we'll get to know these implements I'm mentioning. We have them at the site of land preparation. So after the land preparation, you cut your ridges, you do your cleaning. If you have to put plastic mulch
to control the weeds and conserve moisture, you do. If you don't want to plant on plastic, you also do. So virtually we've adopted since 2 years now the no plastic approach. So you can see all our plants are on backgrounds, they are not
on plastic.
People doubt if they could do well, but we've studied so much, and then we think they are doing very well, even though the yield has been down by some 5 tons per hectare, but they are doing quite well, and then we are reducing plastic pollution.
We are currently at one part of the farm. Where are we now?
So this is the seed production unit.
Okay.
We call it seed, but the actual or the technical name is the sucker.
Okay.
Pineapple can be propagated by the suckers, the slips, either tissue culture, or the crowns.
Okay.
But here we prefer using the suckers because the suckers have higher or faster growth rate compared to the crowns and the slips and the tissue culture.
So why have you turned it upside down?
So you have to turn it upside down because when they are harvested, there might be some pathogens at the base of the plant that you have to turn it between 24 hours to 48 hours for the solar radiation to sterilize the root zone of the plant before planting. So
you are giving us some big terms. So, well, how will a layman like me understand?
No, you see, you know the solar radiation or the sunlight is a good sterilizer.
Okay.
So when you expose these pathogens, soil-borne pathogens, they cannot stand the heat of the sun. So they are sterilized. Then you minimize the use of chemicals to control these pathogens when the plant is finally in the soil.
So how long does it stay like this before you plant them?
A minimum of 24 hours, and then it can stay a maximum of 2 weeks when it is like this.
Okay, so how do you get this? Do you get it from the existing old pineapple plant?
Yes,
or
after harvesting,
yeah.
The mother plant, you call them the mother plant, after harvesting the fruits, when you decide to go for seed production inside of the second crop or the ratoon, you have to do the slashing to stimulate the seed to come. So the seed starts coming. I can harvest one for you here. This is a seed this is the mother plant. The mother plant is here, the fruit has been harvested and it's producing seed down here.
Okay.
So you just have to then
you just pull it.
Pull it carefully, that you then you put it, so that is the seed for you.
So what happens? Do you get rid of the old mother plant?
No, this mother plant can produce you, each plant on the average can produce you about 3 to 4 seeds after the fruit has been harvested. So they don't produce it at the same time. So you harvest the first batch, second batch with the good nutrition and then good rainfall. You can harvest it continuously for about 8 months.
8 months. Oh, okay. So how long has this one been there, like this particular mother plants? Yeah.
This fruit were harvested I think in May.
In May.
So it has been there in May. So let's say it has been there for about 5 months producing. So it can produce up to January or maybe February.
Then you get rid of them.
You can get rid of them.
Oh, okay.
Then they go and follow for about 2 years more. Then we start plowing and preparing land for the next planting.
For the next plant. Oh. So guys, I hope you're enjoying the video so far, and we are learning a lot from Seidu. So this is how it looks like when it's very young. How many weeks is this?
This should be about 10. This is about 8 weeks old.
8 weeks.
8 weeks plant. So it's left with 12 weeks for harvesting.
12 weeks. Okay. So what happens? Are there instances where after 12 weeks the fruit doesn't look too big, so you decide to wait a little longer, or whether it's big or small, you harvest?
They are maturity from the time of flower induction or forcing, depending on how you call it. You count about 20 weeks in our setting here is 20 weeks.
Okay.
Plus or minus 1 week for harvesting. So immediately you do the flower induction, you have to just check the success of the
fruit
of the induction.
Oh, okay.
Like,
when you say induction, what do you mean?
You have to synchronize the flowering. You know, pineapple, when you leave it, you don't synchronize the induction. They come one here, one there at their own time. So you just have to harvest one here, one there, and they can spend about 2 years. But you want the fruits at the same time. So you have to put some hormone, calcium carbide or ethylene gas or ethaphone to induce them at the same time, synchronize the induction to produce the flowers. So when you do the induction, you expect the flowers to come out after 6 weeks.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's like you are impregnating them. So you have to do the
pregnancy
test.
Okay.
After 14 days, you do pregnancy test. So this is how the pregnancy test goes.
Okay, let's go and see how the pregnancy test goes.
So after 14 days, when you induce them after 14 days, this is the pineapple coming.
Oh, okay.
So you cut. After 14 days, you see the sign whether it has responded to the synchronization or not.
Oh, okay.
So you see. So this is the pineapple going.
Oh, okay.
That's the pineapple. So this one, actually, if it's in the soil, it will grow to become a pineapple like this.
Like this.
Like this. So after 14 days, you have to do the pregnancy test to check whether it has responded.
It looks like Seidu is very much interested in the pregnancy bit. So we are finally at my favorite part, where the fruit is fully grown, and right in front of me is one of the pineapple. Look at how beautiful it's looking. Is it ready? Can I pluck it?
Not that one.
Not this one. Okay, so see how I'm excited. I'm so excited. So we came late, so we didn't get the farmers harvesting. It's about 1 p.m. at the moment. So Seidu, can I follow you?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay. Very curious.
This one has been prepared, it's right. It's going by air.
It's going by air?
You can see it is specs.
Yeah.
It has been selected to go by air.
Oh, this is very beautiful.
So this has been selected to go by air. You can see these in pegs. And the green ones will go by sea.
The what?
The green ones.
The green ones will go by sea.
Yes, it will go to the ship. So I can harvest one for you.
Yes. I want the ripe one.
You want the ripe one?
Yes.
Okay, so I harvest this one.
Yeah, harvest this one.
Okay. They are all rival.
Oh, right. This looks good. I'm super excited. I'm going to eat pineapple fresh from the farm. Yeah. So guys, this is official tasting of the fruit. I will be the only judge here to see if the fruit is sweet or not. This is good. I'm sure you're used to eating pineapple every time. So do I realize this particular fruit is yellow, but I'm used to seeing the whitish one. Why is it that?
It depends on the variety. The one you always see on the roadside is the sugarloaf. The sugarloaf by nature is whitish, and then it's a bit conical. So that's what locally they call it fanti. But this is MD2.
So this is officially MD2. MD2, that's why it's yellow, and it's very nice, very sweet. If I don't return home, just know I'm here at the farm eating pineapple. So So I see that some of them look very ripe. That is like they are very yellow. Others too are green. Does it mean that the others are not ripe?
They are ripe.
They are all ripe.
One is specially treated. I told you this is for egg. We treated it separately to get the yellow color for egg.
Okay.
At the beginning. The others are treated to go by sea, you know. Sea will normally take about 2 weeks to get to the destination, so you don't need it as well.
Okay, and it's because they are perishable goods, so you don't want them to get spoiled before getting to the destination. Yeah, so which countries do you export to?
France, we go Switzerland, we go Belgium, we go Netherlands, we go Lebanon, we go Morocco.
Oh, right. So if you are in this list of countries and you are enjoying pineapple, just know that some way, somehow, it's from this farm, because this is the biggest pineapple farm in Ghana. So guys, this is my first harvest and this is what I'm taking home. Do you want some? Come to the Milani farms for your share. So yeah, so far so good. It's been amazing. I hope you're also enjoying this video as much as I enjoyed the experience here with Seidu. Let me know if you have any other questions. Let me know in the comment section. I'm sure Seidu will see the comments and he'll respond to you too. So let's go to the next thing. The good part about Milani Farms is that they created their own dam, which is the only source of water for the farm. So we are currently done with the field things to see. I hope you're enjoying this video so far. So Seidu is currently taking me to the packaging area and we are going to see all the things that happen before it goes for export. Do you also sell to locals?
No.
You don't?
Only, yes.
Only exports?
For processing. Local companies that are doing processing for exports.
Okay.
Before the load will come, we fill this water with 15,000 liters.
Okay.
Water into the sea. And then we add 1.2 kilos of chlorine.
Of chlorine, okay.
Chlorine. As a disinfectant.
Entering, you have to wash your hands. It's not to contaminate the fruits. Right after washing, the pineapples are coated with wax which protects them from pathogens and prevents them from dehydration.
The parking area, we pack it according to the size. The lady over there, she packs size 8.
Okay.
That's the 8. When I say 8, it means that the 8 in the box.
Okay.
8 in the box. We pack it according to the weight.
Okay.
We have the weight. The 6 start from the 1.85 to 2 kilos. That one qualifies for the 6 in the box. Palletize it. We arrange it on the pallet nicely. There's the 7.
What happens here?
So this after packaging, this where you sprinkle it, you know, to prolong the shelf life of the fruit, you have to sprinkle it to a very low temperature before. So pineapple is stored at 7.58 degrees Celsius temperature. Good.
So this is how the boxes look like. This is the one that goes by air, and this by sea. So guys, say thank you to Seidu for me. He took his time, took me everywhere, both the field and the production house and everything that happens here. So if you see him, please buy chocolates for him on my behalf, because he did.
The chocolate is already here.
He did an amazing job. Thank you so much. So if somebody needs advice on pineapple farming in Ghana, should they call you?
Yes, I'm always ready and willing.
Yeah, so I'll drop his contact. Call him and he's ready to give you the best of advice. But be ready to give him some coins, right? Don't less. So guys, thank you so much for watching. This brings us to the end of this video. I hope you were educated just as I was. This is my first experience here and it's been amazing. This video has been an enlightening video. It has taught me a lot. It has taught me how the fruit started. I mean, from the seedling right to production, right to exporting. And this particular farm here is mainly for exportation, both sea and by air. And so thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. I know you're always with me. You're always sticking around. I mean, I love you. Mwah. It is going to my house. Thank you so much, Seidu. You can't come to the farm without getting pineapples. Thank you so much. We are back again, Charlie. I hope you are doing well. In my previous video, I shared the techniques used in pineapple farming in Ghana's largest farm called the Milani Farms. If you missed it, it's still up on my channel. You can go check it out. In today's video, Seidu shares with us how perishable goods like pineapple is exported from Ghana. Let's go right into the video. So Seidu, I'm sure some viewers will also be interested how exporting is done in Ghana. I mean, this is a perishable good you have here at Milani. So would you want to tell us the process in exporting perishable goods like pineapple?
Yeah, the process is in two parts if you want to take it like that. We have the documentation part and then the operational part, the field operation part. So it depends on which one you want me to answer, either the field one or the documentation one.
Oh, the field one, and in fact, both of them, because I'm sure some viewers, I'm sure you're all interested, so they want to know. So let's take it.
Alright, so when we take it to the field one, I mean, when you want to export first pineapple, you have to determine by which route you want to go, either by sea or by air. If it's by sea, the processes are different, and if it is by air, the processes are different. So the field, it involves determination of maturity. First of all, you have to get the order from the client and the specification. He will tell you which variety you want, whether it's MD2, Sugarloaf, or the Smooth Cayenne. So if you get the order from the client with the quantity, the variety, and the time you want, then you have to make sure you do your bookings. If it is by air, you have to determine the destination of different flights and which one corresponds to yours, and make the necessary bookings with the different routes. That's for the air. For the sea too, you have to do the bookings. You have to pass through SPEC. They are the main association for the pineapples in Ghana, SMEC and maybe Fitch. So when you do the necessary bookings and then your maturity is right, then you have to undergo the harvesting and then the post-harvesting processes. So You harvest is always better and advisable to harvest during the cool period of the day, because during the cool period of the day the fruits are normally the temperatures are down, and then they help in prolonging the shelf life of the fruit. Then you do the post-harvest treatment, that is the washing. You have to clean the millibags. If you don't clean the millibags that comes with, normally they will reject it at the airports, and maybe even at the seaport. Sometimes they do some inspection. So when you do the washing, you can decide to do waxing or not, depending on what you want to do. Air, normally air, it's not important to do the waxing, but the sea, because of the time it takes and the destination. Normally to Europe here, it takes about 2 weeks. When it's going to the south, that is for vendors in France, it takes about 13 days, and when it has to go to Antwerp in Belgium, it takes about 14 days on the average. So you have to do your post-harvest treatment very well with the fungicide and the wax. It has to be very well done, and then the pre-pooling has to be very well. I mean, the internal of the fruit has to be matured and then firm, because it takes 2 weeks by sea to get to the client, and then the client might store it 2-3 weeks more or 4 weeks
before they start to sell.
So you have to consider all these things and know that the fruit you are harvesting today, the final consumption will be in 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks time. So every post-harvest treatment that you have to put in place, you have to put that at the back of your mind and make sure that everything is done right and quality with the client's factor in mind. So when you do that, then the other bit is transportation, and then the custom, they have to give you the landing account after doing the inspections. And then when it goes to the airport, the PPRSD will do the inspection and also give you the phytosanitary certificate, and then export goes. So that's in summary what I can see about the pineapple procedure for exporting that.
Okay, so does it happen to like all other perishable goods like tomatoes, pepper? Because I know people export pepper like bell pepper, and then even like the red pepper and other perishable goods. Is it the same procedure, or it differs? Or because you deal in pineapple, you're not too sure about that?
No, for export procedures it's the same. I mean, when you receive your orders, there are some commodities like pepper and then tomatoes. They don't need a lot of post-harvest treatment, and mostly they go by air if they have to go. They go by air, not in pineapple. Pineapple, we harvest it in volumes, and then some has to go by sea. We wish everything will go by air, because air is normally premium price for you. It's faster, premium prices, and then the risk is less, because then you don't have your cooling system on the vessel is not functioning well, and then food gets to clients not at the right condition, and then the client claim another food. So air is always better, but air fruit are expensive in Europe, and then some people will also opt for sea. So it's like
so it depends on the client.
Yes, it depends on the client.
Okay.
And it depends on the purchasing power of the people.
So how long have you personally been doing this job?
I've been in the pineapple business for 12 years now.
12 years? That's a long time. Wow. Thank you.
So it's pretty going well.
Okay, so I also want to know, so if it's going by air and they detect that, okay, some of them have gone bad, what happens? Do you have to change them, or do they have to reject all the fruits, bring them back? Like, what happens if it's rejected?
If it's, you have to ensure we ensure that our quality control here is spot on, and everything we send is of the highest quality. But then the problem is that certain problems like millibags, when you go to the airport and the PPRSD officers inspect, and then they have some millibags of a certain rates, they will reject it and ask you to come and clean or come and pick your goods. They will not allow you to leave the ports. But when the food gets to the client, it's always risky. I mean, if there are some few boxes or few food that are gone bad, the client can be generous enough to remove them, and then you will claim it and you issue a credit note for that effect. But there are some if there is widespread of the problems, you can reject one, and sometimes you even have to pay for the cost of destruction and disposal.
Wow. So my last question would be, if somebody is also looking forward to starting business like this in Ghana, would you say it's a lucrative business? And what are the things you would also advise the person to do and not to do?
Pineapple business in Ghana is very lucrative if you do it well. If you do the right consultation, you get the right land and you get the right people, you'll be happy when you enter into the pineapple industry in Ghana. But then the problem is right consultation and the right people. You have to make sure that you get the right technical advice, and then you will be good to go. And then you have to employ or deal with people who are in the industry, people who are present on the farm. Absentee farmers never benefit from pineapple business. They can benefit or they can be happy in other crops, but certainly not pineapple. Pineapple need a lot of attention. My boss will always tell you pineapple production is a Formula 1 job. So it's always intense, it always need presence, it always need attention, it always need care. So if you are able to be committed to this cardinal principle, you should be good to go.
Okay, so I mean, this is the expert. He's been working here for 12 years, and so if you also need any advice on how things to go about in Ghana, I mean, Seydou will be right here. I'll drop his contact, right?
Yeah,
and Seydou, he's always available. So call him, and he'll give you all the necessary advice you need to know in pineapple farming in Ghana. Thank you so much.
We are passionate about agriculture. We want to make sure that Ghana still remains an agrarian economy, and then therefore we open our arms to everybody who wants to enter into the field of agriculture, especially pineapple production. We help him to make Ghana a successful country.
Wow, thank you.
When you come Quenchiada, Odofu be assuring and I'm come Quenchiana. What Pia come Quenchia be some of Yamasho, Mobusa who say, a barney saying. And then I may tone Safra was a GhanaWeb home, November 27, and Opano Sia, Yenina Yenshim or Preset Ligon, near Tuana Monco Delish Restaurant, Iowa East Ligon, near more come Quenchia who de ro, Yensha Quine Befaswa, you be see no quine. Kai, so about country dam for, Obako Fonsan Sunyamiani Kata. Na wonsom so oni nipa se kan kwanhia to betwa ejina mene wa medin e de benefo buaben abrantipa dwumadi ato ne din bloggers forum etwagu o GhanaWeb TV so mena medin ho chiame.
The GhanaWeb Road Safety Walk is proudly sponsored by Somoko Ghana Limited, Venom Mineral Water and Delish Restaurants.
Continue thriving and obviously achieve higher, and everybody knows that even though I'm not working with them again, but my personal relationship with the owner and many of the management and the staff, it is where my heart is, so I wish them very well, but I'm sure that even without wishes they will still do very well.
We've got a question for you this week. What if God does not change a condition? Well, that's a question that was asked of our guest for this week's edition of the Untold when she went to her pastor to speak about her child who has Down syndrome. And we're here to speak with Agnes Teiko Nyamite. Her story is right here behind these gates, and we are glad that you can join us this week. My name is Eche Atizu. Come along. Hello, Auntie Agi.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you're well.
Yes, I'm well.
Wonderful. It's good to be in your home this morning.
Well, welcome.
Ah, Toda! How are you? Wonderful. Today I'm in your house. Today I'm in your house. Are you off to school?
Here.
You don't go to school this morning?
I'll go.
What? Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you very much, Auntie Agi. The third of 6 children born to her parents, Agnes Teiko Nyemite starts her story by sharing her fears about not getting an education.
I was born in Tema, but I grew up with my auntie at Koforidua, where I had all my education to the secondary school. I started school at 8 years. It's interesting. Thinking back, I thought I couldn't have education, but thanks be to God, at 8 I started school, but I went through to the secondary school through a common entrance examination. I came back to live with my parents in Tema, where I went to the Social Advance Institute to pursue a course in secretariatship because my late mom wanted me to be a secretary. Thanks to Auntie Phyllis, late Auntie Phyllis. My mom will watch her, see her dress up for work, and she appealed to my mother so much, so my mother wanted me to be like her. So she asked Auntie Phyllis what she does at PZ Cousins, and then she said she's a secretary. So my mother told me, I want you to be a secretary like Auntie Phyllis. So throughout my secondary school, I wanted to be a secretary because my mother wanted me to. So after secondary school, she made sure I pursued her dreams for me to be a secretary. So I went to the Social Advance Institute and I passed out as a secretary. I've been working as a secretary till date, thanks to my mother, who had a vision for me I didn't have myself.
Getting married at the age of 29, she remembers how she was under pressure to give birth while still single because many thought she was getting old.
I got married rather late. I was 29. I remember when I gave birth to my son, my mother was so happy, and then she expressed that people were not going to worry her again. Mini be obi on my for, no be obi for, as we say in our local language. And my mother was so happy that finally at 29 years, I had a son. My mother said that she always told them that my daughter is not married. Why are you expecting her to have a child? Because in the neighborhood where we live, they give birth like that. So they thought I should do same. But thanks to God, I gave birth to Kobe, my son, when I was 29.
While still married, she unfortunately had to play a single mother role after her husband went away forever without notice. Her mother's last words would also come to make sense to her after a few years.
My husband then traveled out to the US when Kobe was 2.5 years and did not return. To date, he has not returned from the US. So I had to single-handedly take care of my son. So date, he's 28 years now. So I waited for him. He wasn't coming. I remember the last words of my mother to me. It was a Wednesday, and then she said to me, Teko, you have to get divorced from your husband. because he will do you no good. I did not understand my mother then. And my mother had gone to tell my Auntie Rose, that she should make sure that she gets a divorce from my husband for me, because she thinks that this man was wasting my time. And lo and behold, my mother got sick that Wednesday evening, and then she died on a Friday. A little bit emotional, I'm sorry. And that was the last words of my mother. She wanted me to get a divorce from my husband because he was not going to do me any good. So I did.
Toda. Well, that's the name of a second child, and that name means praise. Here is how Toda's father and the circumstances under which she was born all come in.
I met Toda's father. We talked about marriage, and then we got married. He also came from the US. So we got married. And so this man would not let me have peace and wanted me to give him a child. So I prayed. I resorted to prayer. I prayed. And then I had been to the Winners Church, their Bible school. So it was every December they go to Nigeria. Shiloh, they call it Shiloh in Nigeria, the Winners Church, and David Oyadipo's church, Bishop. So after the Bible school with them, I traveled with them to Nigeria. And the purpose of that trip was to pray to God to give me a child. Because my husband was not giving me any peace. He wanted me to give him a child. So I traveled with the Winners Church to Nigeria to pray to God for a child. I remember one time when I was in Nigeria, he spoke to me on phone. And then he started it again. When are you going to give me a child? Blah, 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 blah. There was a woman standing by me, and there was tears in my eyes. And the woman said, "It's your husband, eh? What does he want?" And the woman is from Trinidad. She has also traveled from Trinidad to Nigeria for the program. I wondered how she got to know, how she knew that it was my husband who was talking to me. I said, "Don't mind him. You just focus on why you came here and pray. Don't mind him." So I took her advice, and then I focused on my prayer. I prayed. They asked us to write a prayer request in a bowl. Bishop David himself and all the bishops there pray on it for us. Every request we put in that bowl, and then I came back. A few months after I came back, he also came from the US. And then I got pregnant. I was so happy. I'm pregnant. God has answered my prayer. And when I got pregnant, he had to go back, so he went back.
A doctor delivered the news to Toda's mother that she would immediately reject because all she saw in her daughter was a beautiful girl.
It was a difficult pregnancy because my son was 18 years then. It is a long while, and so it was difficult. The doctors has also told me that there were fibroids in my womb which are fighting with space with my baby. So anytime my baby wants to turn, it's so difficult because the space for her to turn is not enough. So that wasn't turning when it was full term. So the doctors had asked me to come for a cesarean because her head was still up. So the time was due for me to go, and then I went through a cesarean session and I had her. The gynecologist who performed the operation on me came in the morning. It was at dawn when the operation was done. So in the morning when he came, he took a close look at her, And then he told me that my daughter looks like a child with Down syndrome. I asked him how, because I did not see anything. I saw a beautiful girl. What? Your hand. I saw a beautiful girl, but he told me that there are so much flesh at the back of her neck, and that is his suspicion that she has Down syndrome. So she was going to ask the pediatrician to come take a closer look at her and examine her to confirm his suspicion. So the following day, the pediatrician came, took a test on her, thorough test on her, and she confirmed that my daughter really has Down syndrome. So then, what is Down syndrome? I asked every nurse who came around that, I asked, what is Down syndrome? And then they tried to explain to me that it is the triplication of the 21st chromosome. What is triplication of 21st chromosome? So in the layman's language, it was explained to me that genes inherited from your mother and from your father, it should sum up to 46. 23 from your mother, 23 from your father. But in the case of the Down syndrome, the 21st chromosome, instead of it doubling, triples. So when it triples, it gives it brings up the Down syndrome, which also brings the physical, the cognitive features that you have with children with Down syndrome, with all that my daughter has.
Still in denial, Agnes resorted to prayer, trusting God to remedy what at that point in her life was not the kind of miracle she had expected from the very God she was praying to again.
So then, for me, I cannot have a child with Down syndrome. Not after I have gone to Shiloh, and for the 1 week you have to fast. I fasted. I prayed. And at 47, with no fertility treatment, I give birth to a beautiful girl. And you tell me that my daughter has Down syndrome. No. I will have to pray to that God who gave me the child to change her condition. So for me, it was prayer. I refused it. No, my daughter cannot have Down syndrome. So till I had this child, was discharged from the hospital, I came home. Anybody, you see, children with Down syndrome, when you take a very close look at them, they don't look like typical children. So anybody who comes and says something, I remember a friend of mine came to visit, and then she said that, Tagi, your daughter is not turning her eye when I turn. There should be something wrong with your daughter. I didn't say anything. I was very mad in my mind. I just gave her some insult in my mind. I didn't say anything. You cannot come and tell me that this, that. I did not listen to anybody. All I was doing is prayer.
Her faith was tested with a question: what if God does not change her?
A reverend minister in my church, Reverend Dorabote, came, Reverend Dr. Dorabote came visiting, and then she also noticed that my daughter looked like somebody with, she doesn't look like a typical child. So I told her that yes, the doctors had told me that she has Down syndrome, but for me, I'm praying to God to change her condition. Then she asked me, what will I do if God does not change her condition? Because this God can change her, and he can also decide not to. So what will I do if God says that, no, this is the child I'm giving you? It dawned on me that, yes, her condition can be changed and it cannot be changed too, so what do I do? It is then that I resorted to reading about Down syndrome and then finding out what to do to help myself and then also help my baby.
From the dawn of time, people have engaged in several businesses. With the onset of technology and innovation, life has relatively been made easier. By using debit or credit cards,
mobile banking.
Thank you. And your favorite, mobile money?
Tech has indeed married business. On BizTech, we spend time with faces behind known and upcoming businesses in the country.
Learn more about the new technologies and innovation,
as well as find out about the trending issues in the world of business.
Join us as we serve you with a variety of compelling interviews, projects and others right here on GhanaWeb TV.
A little too late for her, Agnes came to the realization that this was truly her gift from God, and she owed that child all the love and attention necessary.
Actually, I had lived in denial for close to 2 years. And I wasn't doing what I'm supposed to do for her to grow up well. Because children with Down syndrome come out with a lot of health issues. About 80% of them come with cardio problems. They come with ear condition and then eyes. So you have to critically take them to the hospital for them to be examined to see what is the medical challenge they came out with, so that you address it early, because addressing it early is key to their growth. But I had lived in denial and had refused to do all these things for close to 2 years. It was only when I came to acceptance that this is the child that I have that I decided to go through all these tests and see what is wrong with her and what I can do to help her. Having told her has not been easy. Having a child with Down syndrome is not an easy thing. You have a typical child who, by 6 weeks when you have to show yourself to the doctor, has grown well, is able to hold the neck, is able to stand on you and jump, but not a child with Down syndrome. The neck will still be at the back of her head after 6 weeks when you go to see the doctor. She will hold her neck after about 3 months. And then you see her body is floppy. They have a floppy body. They are so soft. And they are prone to a lot of infections. I remember after about 2 weeks when I had to go and see the doctor, my auntie who came to take care of me has noticed that Tida has a temperature. She did not tell me, because then I also had this terrible headache, which I understood is from the side effects of the anesthesia. It was so severe that I couldn't even take her to feed her. Because I cannot bend my head. The headache was so severe. So she was on formula. So my auntie, when we went to the hospital, told me that we should take Toda to see the doctor first. I asked her why. I have come to dress my wound and see the doctor. Then she told me that she has a temperature. And then when she took her to the nurse took her temperature and said, no, we have to take her immediately to see the doctor. So she begged all the patients in the queue so that they will allow her to see the doctor. It was like a flu then, but it got worse that the doctors had to examine her and give her medication there and then at the consulting room before they took her to take care of her. What I want to say is that children with Down syndrome are prone to a lot of infections, and when they are sick and you don't give them immediate medical care, it can result to something else. A lot of attention has to go into them, but the first thing is to acceptance. If you accept that this is the child you have, then you can educate yourself on what to do for yourself and then for your daughter.
What was supposed to be a good news for Toda's father, after asking so much for it, was not to be so. His conclusion was this: if this is the child you want to give me, then take her.
My husband was in the US, so I had to inform him that I had given birth. I told him I've given birth to a baby girl who was happy. Then I brought the news that the doctor said that my daughter has Down syndrome. I thought with the enlightenment we had in the US, we'll know what is Down syndrome. But he blamed me for Toda's condition. He said that they don't have such a person in their family. So it is me, where I come from, we have it. I don't want to, in my family, we don't have it, also have a child with Down syndrome. I'm the first to give birth to a child with Down syndrome in my family. But he blamed me for her condition. And he told me that if this is the child that I'm giving birth to, I should take her. He doesn't want to have anything to do with her. I should take her. So Toda has been my responsibility. Once a while when he feels he has to send money for her upkeep, he will. But not like taking care of her child. So Toda has been my responsibility.
Naturally burdened and depressed from this great test in life, Agnes became an advocate for persons living with Down syndrome.
So having her and the challenges that I went through, I realized that a lot of other mothers will be going through the same challenge. So I told myself that I will want to advocate for persons with Down syndrome. But I got to this point, not like just I want to advocate. I have gone through depression. I was depressed and I had to go through counseling. I went to counseling sessions for 3 months because I was faced with divorce again. My husband doesn't want to have anything to do with me. So I had faced with divorce again because my elder son also, I had to divorce from his father, getting married to Toda's father, and I realized that I was faced with divorce again. It was a very difficult decision for me to take. But I realized that there was nothing else I can do but to go through it. So I had gone through depression, had to go through counseling. Then after I've pulled through, come up and through it, I decided to talk and then to advocate for persons with Down syndrome and then to tell my story for others to know that it might be difficult in the beginning, but it is not for the entire life of a child with Down syndrome.
Having faced a second divorce by this time, Agnes began to look on the bright side of things. In fact, she speaks of how this became her blessing.
I look at Toda today and I give thanks to God because she doesn't easily fall sick like she used to do by the grace of God. We have come a long journey. She had to be in diapers for 5 years. She started speaking when she was 5 years. I also learned that with physiotherapy and all the therapies that are available, speech and language therapy, occupational therapies, they develop a little bit faster than Toda did. But I did not go through those therapies. I did not take her through those therapies. So she started talking at 5 years. When she can say poo-poo and wee-wee, that is when she was put off diapers. I remember I had to comb through Accra. I started combing through Tema in Accra to get her size of diapers. She was growing out of the sizes for diapers for children. So I didn't know what to do. She was growing and I wasn't able to get diapers her size. But thanks to God, she started speaking. She started saying wee-wee and poo-poo. So I had to put her through off diapers. Thanks to her school where she is now, Womo Christian Academy, they also helped me a lot. When I took her to school, first day in school, she was 5 years when she started school there. When she was 5 and then she was in diapers, I told them already that she has Down syndrome. She said they were ready to admit her. And then when I took her to school and she was in diapers, they asked why. I told them, and then she said I should remove it. And then they were going to help me put her off diapers. So they did a great job for me. And I was only putting on her diapers for her when she was about to go to bed. And then she came off diapers. So it's not an easy journey with a child with Down syndrome, but it is achievable, it is attainable. with a lot of love and acceptance. A lot of love and patience, and accepting that this is the child I have. There are a lot of things you can do for them. Even though they have intellectual disability, there are a lot more that they can do. I believe that since you came here, you've seen some of the things Toda can do, and then you see the kind of intelligence that she has. I believe that if she cannot grow up to be a lawyer, she can grow up to be a very good dancer, or she can grow up to be a very good model for a very reputable clothing line. So it is not easy, but it is achievable.
How and why does she look so young at 57 years? Agnes knows she's not superhuman, and it is the same way she understands that worry will do her no good.
The other time somebody said that I look 40, somebody said 45, and the oldest I had is somebody said I look 48 years. Actually, growing up, I prayed God that He should let me look younger than my age. That was my desire. But growing up, I learned something, that worry makes you grow older than your age. If you don't worry too much, it keeps you young. So what I did was I lived by the day. Anything that worries me, I cry. If I have to cry, I weep. But I also decide to let life go on. So for me, my slogan is life goes on. I told myself that I wasn't going to allow anybody to put a foot stop at my life. I have gone through a lot of challenges. I've gone through divorce twice. I had to take care of my 2 children single-handedly. My son finished the university. He recently had a job. He had been out of job. I have to take care of him through school single-handedly. I had to forfeit all the luxury. I tell myself that I will look less expensive, dress less expensive, so that I can have money to pay my son's school fees. I do not want my son to be sacked out of school because of school fees. He would then be crying and be thinking of where his father is, why he has to come be sacked out of school, and he will feel humiliated. So what I do is that I save money for my son's education, for Toda's education. People say I look glamorous. They think I am expensive, but I'm not expensive. Everything I wear is not expensive. I don't like expensive things. I tell myself that you don't have to be expensive to look nice. You can be moderate and also look nice. So I don't buy expensive things. I remember when Brazilian hair came, somebody told me, me who's a open wig, Brazilian hair. I said, Brazilian hair, they mean obi training, they mean hey, obi be ye mean not that mean I didn't have money to buy it. And that is why I live my life. Live by the day.
It's been a tough journey so far, but how is she able to stay afloat all the hurdles?
Toda is a girl, but for my son, sometimes I think that he liked the father figure in his life, the masculine type, or the advice or opinions of a father in his life. That is what I think he might lack. When he was in school, I made a teacher, and I made him get close to a teacher.
Sorry.
And I had told the teacher to play like a father figure for him when he was in primary school to JSS. So even when he got to the university. But now we talk, and then sometimes when he asks for my opinion on certain issues and I give it, he doesn't say anything, but I feel that maybe he should have the opinion of thinking, the side of the thinking of a man in his life. That is what sometimes, he hasn't said it, but that is what I think. But for me, it is okay. It is okay. Once I can adequately care for them, it's okay.
Sitting and listening to her mom speak all this while, Toda insisted on sharing in the moment too. Here she is.
Mama is home for years, and Mama fast help me to have time some tea, and they gave me that. Get no, I get my money to do them. Oh, thanks. And I get asked me that. You asked me that. Come on, friend. Ask me that. Yeah, I get asked me a question to me, and I get is my best friend, and I kiss my cheek.
Kiss my cheek.
Do you love mommy's cooking?
Yes.
What things does mommy cook for you?
Jollof.
It's your favorite food for mommy. Say mommy is your best friend.
Yes.
Why do you love mommy's jollof?
Sweet. Jollof chicken and fat and side and beans.
So you love mommy very much?
Yes.
Nice.
After a girl.
You saw Toda was telling them how much she loves me, how much she loves my cooking, and my cooking jollof for her, and then what I did for her on her birthday in March. And then she loves me so much.
We took a drive to Toda's school in Tema to catch some quick words from her teacher.
When it comes to the social aspect of her life, she's very friendly, affable. She's the one who easily makes friends with people. And one thing about Toda is that when she takes you as a friend, you'll not be disappointed. Though she's not as, there's a challenge, but she's one of the smart and good students in the class. Sometimes there were questions that she responds to, you'll be surprised. And so far, when it comes to academic too, she's doing well. Both indoor and outdoor, she has been very active. There's full participation, whatever that we do in class. And she's the kind of student that despite her disability, she does not let the disability to weigh her down. She's always at the top. She has a good relationship with students, both students and teachers. She knows almost every student in the school, their name. She knows every. Sometimes she engages with a play with the other children around. She's been giving them nickname and other things. Oh, it's great having a Toda in my class as my student, because working with Toda for this number of days has given me sort of in-depth knowledge in children with a disability, because I am forced to do extra work, to go the extra mile just to satisfy Toda's needs.
Regrets? Has she any?
I do not have regrets, because I believe that everything happens in a person's life for a reason. I love my son, and even though I had struggled to take care of him, I do not want to poison my son's mind against his father, that your father wasn't responsible. Anytime his father remembers that he has a son and sends something, I'll tell him, this is how much your father has sent. But for me, I met a man once upon a time. We got married. And then he dashed me a son. A son who was my companion for 18 years. Thanks to him, he decided to travel out and abandon his son. But I have a son. So I thank him for giving me a son. I do not have regrets.
Well, what more is there to hear after listening to this inspiring story from our guest, Agnes Teku Nyamite, here on The Untold on GhanaWeb TV. We hope that you've been inspired, as is always our aim here on this program. Remember, there is news for you at www.ghanaweb.com, and we want you to connect. Be kind to one another. My name is Eche Atisu.
National Road Safety Authority. It's all about GhanaWeb Road Safety Walk. Meeting point, Legon Presec, bus stop. Time 6 a.m. Happening on 27th November 2021. We have to walk to save lives. We'll walk as well as have fun. So come, let us walk together to save lives on our road. See you at the meeting point, 6 a.m. sharp.
The GhanaWeb Road Safety Walk is proudly sponsored by Somoko Ghana Limited, Verna Mineral Water, and Delish Restaurant.
I, and the body I represent, the Alliance for Christian Advocacy Africa, want to wish GhanaWeb, the management team, very well. They came at the right time and they have served a purpose. When my story appeared on GhanaWeb, I found that other media houses that have not interviewed me, that have not called me, they still have the story on their website, media platforms, and I know that even if they don't acknowledge, I know they pick it from GhanaWeb. So they have served the media needs, or they've made significant contribution to media needs in Ghana. We wish them a very good future, but we pray that they will also need be find a way of reducing the hurt that people are going through, because it seems to me people who receive some kind of abusive feel hurt, but they may still want to go to GhanaWeb because of its uniqueness. We wish them a very fruitful years in the coming years and days ahead of us.
He's one of Ghana's biggest exports globally. Talk of the biggest, and I mean he is the biggest. I do not even want to start counting the number of international collaborations he has had or awards he has won so far. Let me not spill too much about our special guest for today. Let's take this quick breather. When we come back, we have a surprise for you. This is Talk Entertainment on GhanaWeb TV, and this is yours truly, Elsie Lama. We'll be right back. Welcome back from that quick breather. You are watching Talk Entertainment on GhanaWeb TV, and we want to give a special thanks to Marriott Hotel for giving us this venue for this particular episode. And as usual, this show is proudly brought to you by Cheesy Pizza. Cheesy Pizza has all you want from juices, smoothies, jollof, fried rice, spaghetti and meatballs. We have great deals for you all week round. Cheesy Pizza gives you the McCheesy combo every Monday and Thursday. With only 49 cedis, you get one small pizza, fries, chicken, Coca-Cola at all branches. Tuesdays are Super Tuesdays at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Buy your Super Family Pizza at half price every Tuesday for 40 cedis at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Be a part of the Midweek Bonanza every Wednesday. Buy and get one free at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Also remember to start your weekend with special jollof and fried rice from Cheesy Pizza. Call 0264 133 397 0264 133 397 to place your order. Cheesy Pizza, your way. So yes, as I said in my intro, yes, we have here a special guest for today's edition of Talk Entertainment. We have here the only Wanga General, the living to the stone to the Stonebwoy.
Oh no, we're outside.
Welcome.
Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you too. How's it going? I know you're stressed with a lot of media talk here and there.
No, I'm not stressed.
Yeah.
I'm actually just working, and it's important. It's for the masses. It's for my fans. You know, we have a message for them, and with every given opportunity, I mean, I'm happy to engage with them. So.
But how are you toggling between things as a family man, as a student, with your music? How is it hard for you to toggle between those two things, like those stuff?
Yeah, life is a class. Life is a school, so we're all students of life, you know. So we have to learn by force. But actually, on a serious note, I mean, I think it's not, for me, it's not an extra. I don't know how people see it to be an extraordinary ability to be able to take care of family and to be able to double up with work, you know, and education as well. What would you be doing if not all these? What would you be doing? But I understand from where you're coming, like how it looks all, you know, cumbersome. Yeah. But we are managing. That's the reason why we have to plan things and pray to be able to execute the plans. So that's just how I'm managing. It's quite tough, honestly, it is, but it's supposed to be. You know.
But what was the inspiration behind you wanting to like go back to school?
I never left school because, like I began with, life it's a class basically. So it's just you're either acquiring formal education or you're educating yourself informally. So, you know, that's it.
How did you come up with the title Greedy Man? Why Greedy Man?
Greedy Man is actually, yeah, like you said, the name of my latest song. This song is not one that is going to make you, this is going to make you think. This is going to educate you and open your eyes to some realities that we are facing as Ghanaians, you know. So that's what's in the content of the song. But the title Greedy Man, it shouldn't hit you at all. We're not insulting anybody. But what inspired that title is the fact that there are men, both men and women, who we are all supposed to, you know, help curtail these things. But there are people in positions, in places, who actually know but will not. These are the people that I refer to as greedy men. And it's a greed of men, basically, you know. So it couldn't get any better.
Yeah.
You know, to give it a title that will call for attention, or you want to probe into, okay, what is he talking about? Who are the greedy men? Why is he saying greedy men? So that's the kind of title that will call you to the conversation.
So a lot of people have come up to add their voice to the Galamsey fight. To some extent, they have tried but couldn't get nowhere. Don't you think that this whole thing, people might see it as a political threat to some extent?
No, there's no political threat in whatsoever. Simply put, this is an advocacy song. When you take a critical attention, when you pay critical attention to the lyrics, you know what I'm saying. When you pay attention to the video, you know what I'm saying. I am not, I repeat, fighting against anybody who is trying to get their hustle to live life. Listen to the song, check the lyrics, get back at me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and let's discuss. You will now get the understanding of what I'm saying. I'm only advocating and standing for the people and pushing so that the powers that be will be able to look at the people, fend for the people, and deliver what is deserved to the people.
I know at every point in time you are being driven by a particular thing to write a song, but when it came to this very Galamsey issue, is it the case that you were traveling and you saw the waters, or you saw something? What actually was the inspiration behind it?
The thing is, I honestly do not want it to go one way like it has always gone, because that way you have already said people have fought it. I would just beg everybody who cares to know to dig into the song, and check the things that I'm talking. I'm not only talking about Galamsey, I'm actually talking about mining. I'm actually talking about the rewards that we are supposed to get, like I said already, as people. I'm actually addressing a deeper concept. For the Galamsey bits that comes in there, I'm addressing the depth, why we need employment. That's why government has launched the initiative to alleviate poverty and then improve upon the living standards of those who have been affected in those communities by such practices. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's a deeper thought to this song. This song is not, listen to me well, this song is not a stop Galamsey kind of song. No. Do you get what I'm saying? This song is deeper than stopping it. This song is telling you what goes on. See? This song is demanding for a better living for people in those communities and demanding for the companies, whether legal or illegal, to do the right thing. You know, for me, I'm also coming from an advocacy perspective. But trust you me, in those documents, in those deeds, and in those memoranda or whatever they sign, you know, they know what to do to salvage the situation whilst we mine the earth for our minerals, for our use. You know?
If we want to go and talk about this Galamsey menace, we'll keep going over and over again, because believe you me, our leaders know the right thing to be done. And trust me when I say that some of these people are directly, indirectly responsible for some of these things. And that's another whole conversation on its own that would even want to
these are sensitive issues.
Yes.
But my song doesn't represent the troubles. My song actually is calling for attention onto these things, and actually is meant to push and aid, you know, people and those that are involved at top levels, at lower level, at middle levels, to be able to implement the right, not policies, the policies are there, to be able to implement the right actions, you know, to curb these things. That's what my song is standing for. Yeah, the talk is enough. Because irrespective, we need these minerals to survive.
Yeah, that's true.
So the things that are written down to salvage the situations is what I'm lauding my advocacy upon.
Yeah, that's right. Moving away from the Galamsey menace, you have been one of the people that have keenly fought for a better royalty system in Ghana. Personally, what exactly do you think that needs to be reformed in this sector?
I mean, the questions have been what I think. The reality is, what I think may matter, but it doesn't really go anywhere, because many of us have thoughts. And the truth is that they know what to do. I am not an occupant of such and such offices because they didn't also get up and occupied this position. So we should direct the questions to what is being done. How transparent is what is being done to the public, or to the users, or to the creators of such materials, which is creative materials. So we are also asking them what it could be. Because the question I get a lot, which I'm very realistic about right now, is what do you think can be done? What do you think can be done? What I think is what I think. It doesn't hold water. But what the truth is and what should be done lies and sits in those piled up books and letters in those offices. So since it's a public office and we're supposed to be served, we want to also see what is being done so we can add our voices to the right ones and help to take away the wrong ones and shift the dynamics to suit and serve people for the better at all at all these levels. So that's what I think.
Moving from that, there's this question I want to ask you. Should artists be culprits of publicity stunts? Do you think artists should be culprits?
It depends on the type, because we have you can act, all these movies, and then you act them, so you can put up an act, but it depends on what act you're putting up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You cannot put up reality, and we all know it's reality, and there's a name for everything. You can call it stunt, you can call it... I'm just being very honest and being general, because I don't know where you're driving at specifically, but on a general board, whatever we do or don't do, whether we put up stunts or not, we have to and are going to be responsible for those stunts that we put on, especially publicly.
So do you think it's in the right direction?
So if you're asking if we should be corporates, that means if we should be
held responsible.
Why can't you be held responsible? Why can't you be held responsible for putting up something you did? To be responsible for your deed is definitely like, it goes hand in hand. I don't like, if I sip this drink, I'm responsible for sipping it now. So you can't detach your responsibility from stunts that you pull out there, whether legal or illegal.
People say because people are artists, public figures and all of that, to some extent they should be spared.
Yeah, and I think realistically, to some extent, we all fall under the law. That's why there's a need for permissions. You know what I mean? If I'm going to put up a stunt somewhere, because I respect the fact that we are working within a we're working within a law system, I would put out permissions and say, oh, just like we occupied this space, we didn't just walk in to come and sit here. Yeah. Our intent is good to film something for us, but we have had to ask permission. If all this is a stunt, at least we would have asked permission to put up the stunt.
Yeah. So what do you feel about the IGP and then his new way of doing things? He's on heat. And what do you think about that?
You said he's on heat. I'm not in his office. I don't occupy his I'm not in his office, honestly speaking. And tell you what, from where I sit, a lot of people have the right to air their feelings and air their thinkings, whatever they think. For me, I think he's just doing his work. He's not behind anything. He's a boss sitting in an office. There are divisional commanders, right? Sometimes we have to be educated as people. There are divisional commanders to the last corporal who are supposed to do their work. So that's all I can say. People are doing their work.
Stonebwoy, your top 3 challenges so far?
I tell you what, I am used to challenges, and challenges are part of us. And challenges have to come, else we can't record progresses. You know what I mean? So this is not, fine, let me just keep it there. So basically, in this industry, there's a need for proper infrastructure. That's a challenge. 2, there's also a need for investment. That's a challenge. And 3, there's a need for a lot of education, public education, to understand what it is to have or how we can use the creative arts to develop the nation. These 3.
Okay. What inspires your songwriting?
Life and events.
travels?
Yeah, so life and events.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you write very good lyrics. At what point in time do you feel like, okay, this is the time that I need to release this song. This is the time I need to release that song. What inspires the timing of the songs you release?
The type of song actually has inspired the timing, you know, because that's it. You cannot plant an apple in Africa, basically. So it's like, I don't know, but I just want to know that I just want to try to explain how I release my song, the title, and what inspires it. It's the type of song inspires the time, and the timing inspires when to release the song. So everything is timing. So you have to actually calculate the timing because it's real. There's no coincidence in this shit. You have to be head on and deliberate about every move.
Okay. Your dad preaches in church, to some extent, so you're also Fuba. Do you have any plans of becoming a pastor someday?
No, to be a pastor is very limited.
So
to be a Stonebwoy, it gives me a lot of room to operate. So there's a pastor inside of me. The pastor inside of me is like, there's a percentage of a pastor inside of me. There's a percentage of a lawyer, there's a percentage of a lawyer, there's a percentage of everything inside of me. Because I carry a message. So.
But how do you feel when churches sing your song? Like your songs are being sung in churches by the pastors themselves.
So then you can see there's a connect. People can relate to the message. Or ideally, ultimately, I'm a messenger. So I have the authority, you know, by divine, to be able to speak to every and any situation with melodies. So once people can relate, it doesn't matter where you consume it. You can use it in churches, you can use it in your privacy. When you're and your girlfriend, you are there, and you can play it, you know?
You have a tour coming up, tell us about it.
Yo, big ups to every fan that have been, everybody who supported us, my loved ones and everybody. The tour coming up is the Angloga Junction UK tour, which was supposed to have come on a long time, but COVID, and then it's Komininis, they say. So finally, we have a date, we have venues, we've been selling tickets from time. November 21st, 25th, and 26th, we have London, Manchester, and Birmingham, respectively. You guys roll out, let's make this a successful one. UK, this November, I'm gonna be on my way. Big respect, Ghana, Africa, my fans across the globe. Make sure you guys log in. Get the tickets in my bios, on IG, on all online platforms. Let's roll out.
You have been nominated for the GhanaWeb Excellence Awards, which is coming up, Creative Arts. Yes, so want to ask your view, how do you feel about your nomination?
Yeah, add 15% shares of GhanaWeb as the result of my awards, because I will win. So when you win me, I don't need any money. Just give me shares, 15% shares inside GhanaWeb.
We'll speak to our people in the Netherlands.
As my award. I'm asking for, okay, 5. Okay, 15 is outrageous. 5% of shares, GhanaWeb, and I'll be happy to win this one.
What is your message to the voters? Yes.
Why do they have to decide? It can be biased.
No, you know.
Because if my fans are plenty than another guy's fans, they may just vote and then. So
but
you guys have to use your standards.
That category, you know.
Yeah, but you see me, I'm a realist and I'm fair. So you guys have to have a standard, which I believe that I'll qualify through it all. Anyway, involving the public is a good idea, but anyhow it goes, I'm a winner.
What has been your driving force in life, and what we should expect for you in the coming years?
Yeah, man, my driving force has been, the quest to live and make an impact, in all areas of life, personally and to the public. So, yeah, man, that has been my driving force, to leave a positive legacy. Yeah.
And also, we are embarking on a road safety campaign. We are 22 years old, and then we are doing a road safety
GhanaWeb?
campaign. Yes, GhanaWeb.
Wow.
We've been doing it
years, man.
Yes.
I was only 11 when you guys started. Mad.
So, we want to ask, but you have been a survivor of road accidents. We want you to share a bit of your story and also tell us what drivers to do on their roads to curb road accidents.
Drivers know what to do on the roads. It's not me who's going to tell you. Drivers know what to do. Drive safely. You have the manuals before you got your driver's license. You know that you have to go through writing exams and all of that. So please, but most importantly, let's keep our cars checked regularly, you know, because let's keep it checked. That's how we can avoid some other gross accidents as well, because when your brakes fail, when something happens technically to your car or mechanically to your car, I think that goes beyond your knowledge. You might not be able to pick it up immediately, but you can curb it, check for your tires, your brakes, your oils, your steering, all that one. Make sure there's periodic check. That's it. And keep the road safety signs. Keep the road safety procedures, you know, as well. That's it. But you know, in Ghana as well, we hardly have pedestrian, you know, demarcations, you know, and we hardly have riders as well. So my brother and my sisters out there, we just have to use our mind to continue to be calculating, because sometimes the traffic lights don't work too, and if they do work, we don't obey them too. We are all victims. We are all part of the system. So December is in a corner. I need all of us to be alive. Aside the many other things that take our lives, one major factor in Ghana is road accident, which I am a victim of, and I know a lot of people are suffering from that as well. Let's just take precaution, especially the drivers. You know what to do. Don't drink and drive. All these things. Don't be too confident in overspeed. All these ones, my youth. We know already. It's the implementation that's the issue. It's not what to do.
Before we move, Jah give me money.
Yeah, make food full of on my plate. Anger no go kill us, never, never. Jah give me money, poverty stay far away. Stay far away, far away. This year I go buy mansion, look fresh, more fashion. Turn up the swag with. What did I say again? Holy lyrics man, you mean?
What did you say that? What did you say that?
I'm like, what did I say again? I've forgotten that line.
Turn up the what?
Yeah, okay. What did I say? Turn up the thing with more. Turn up the swag with more fashion. Something like that.
Yeah.
Go check the lyrics. You know that we write plenty songs. You know, it's like that. Your lecture said if you come, you don't know what to go teach. You know, be me. I for always remember my lyrics.
Okay, we are done. Final words, your fans that we.
Yeah, man. Big respect, love, and manners, and honor to everybody who has been a part of the journey from time. Longevity is key, you know, and let us all continue to grow together. I think in Ghana, when you grow past a certain level, they're like, yeah, where we are. But I'm sorry to say, yeah, because a we are better. So let's continue to support our artists. Let us learn to actually, for no reason, love one another, and especially in the creative arts, because we tend to actually, you know, have a softer spot for foreigners. When I say we, I mean we are all involved. So this is my own. I love you guys so much. God bless you guys. Keep supporting the movement. The new song is Our Greedy Men, a song that speaks on a very sensitive issue. Let us all add our voices, you know, and I just want to repeat, it is not about Galamsey, it is about everything. When you take the lyrics from the first 4 lines, I was able to capture almost everything that I would talk about extensively over there. So let's keep it up. God bless you guys. One love. December is in the corner. Make sure
December, Christmas.
Save your monies for Beam concert. It's coming.
Ooh.
I want to break the ice over here. 21st of December. It's not usual. You know, come on, it's Tuesday, 21st of December. The season is hot. At the Grand Arena Conference Center. I'm breaking the ice over here so you guys can run with it. We're ready and ready. It's going to be crazy. There are international artists built on there. You know how I do the Beam concert, or how we do the Beam concert. This year is going to be elevation upon elevation. I love you guys. I go by the name Stonebwoy. You know the thing going on, more fire, yeah?
So Cheesy Pizza says I should give this to you, to Jay Janam and CJ.
We are grateful, man. Thank you for the pizza.
Yeah,
Thank
so finally we have come to an end of another interesting episode of Talk Attainment on GhanaWeb TV. We want to give a special thanks to Marriott Hotel for giving us this venue for this particular episode. And as usual, this show is proudly brought to you by Cheesy Pizza. Cheesy Pizza has all you want from juices, smoothies, jollof, fried rice, spaghetti and meatballs. We have great deals for you all week round. Cheesy Pizza gives you the McCheesy combo every Monday and Thursday. With only 49 cedis, you get one small pizza, fries, chicken, Coca-Cola at all branches. Tuesdays are Super Tuesdays at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Buy your Super Family Pizza at half price every Tuesday for 40 cedis at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Be a part of the midweek bonanza every Wednesday. Buy and get one free at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Also remember to start your weekend with special jollof and fried rice from Cheesy Pizza. Call 0264 133 397 0264 133 397 to place your order. Cheesy Pizza, your way. We hope to come your way another time. Till then, stay safe and do the right thing. We are out.
It's all about the GhanaWeb Road Safety Walk. It's happening here on the 27th of November 2021. We are hitting the streets of Accra to interact with drivers and to share some educational material. Our starting point is at Legon Precinct and we'll end at East Legon. The time is 6 a.m. My name is Eche Atisu and I'm host of the Untold on GhanaWeb TV. Let's do this.
The GhanaWeb Road Safety Walk is proudly sponsored by Somoko Ghana Limited, Venom Mineral Water and the Lish Restaurants.
On behalf of the Chartered Institute of Marketing in Ghana, I would want to congratulate GhanaWeb on your 22 solid years of existence. I know it's not easy for any organization to be 22 years and still counting with the kind of reputation that you've enjoyed, even though there have been some flaws. I guess you've done very well. You've added value to advertisers, especially Chartered Institute of Marketing in Ghana, in terms of visibility, whether eyes or ears. And we want to congratulate you. We want to see more enhanced, what they call it, benefits and products that you could churn out for your clients going forward in the next 22 years.
In 2019, when we paid her a visit at her home in Westlands, her arms were in a sling. She could barely move them around, and she was actually getting ready for a surgery where a metal would be fixed in her arms. Today, it's fixed and she's much better. She's here to share her story with us today, again, because a lot more people are still suffering her fate. Our guest today on this edition of GhanaWeb's Road Safety Campaign is Priscilla Na-Akle Planch. In 2019, you could barely do anything. Your mom and family were practically assisting
helping me with everything.
Yeah. How have you been since then?
Well, by God's grace, we were able to have the surgery. We were able to raise the funds for the surgery with your help. Thank you very much. And then we had the surgery in September 2019. It took some time for healing, but now I'm good. Completely by God's grace.
Okay. 98%
excellent.
Okay, so say in 2019 you couldn't, you had to basically be helped to wear your clothes, to move around. Now what extent are you okay now when you say you're okay?
So the effects of the incident and the injury made me incapable of using my left hand. So I couldn't use my left. I couldn't do this. I couldn't. It was like broken. So it was in a sling and a POP and in a sling. But now, by God's grace, because of the implant, I suffered from radial palsy after the surgery. That means I lost control of my nerves.
Okay.
But with a lot of physio, now I can do this. But it just left a little for me to do this. But I can use my hand. I cook, I wash.
So like 80%, you're okay.
Yes.
That's really great to hear.
Thank you.
We just want to like do a little flashback of how the whole accident happened. It was in 2013.
Yes,
right?
2013.
So take us back. Just cast your mind back. What happened on that day in the Volta region?
Yeah. So I had just finished my degree at the University of Ghana, and I just landed an exciting job. And as part of my duties, I was supposed to travel around the country. So we started with the Volta region. We're on contract to distribute some items, and I was in charge of the project. So it was very tiring because we'll travel, distribute, settle. So on one of the journeys, when we reached Quever Mountain, our driver lost control of the car, and we just drove almost entering the valley. So it was just a tree stump that blocked the car, and I was at the front seat. So the impact of the tree stump in the car is what caused the injury. My left hand got broken, my left leg also got broken. Yes, and initially we thought we were going to just fix a POP and we are done. But we went to St. Joseph's. I was taken to Chafaga, that's in the Volta in Ho, and then I was told that my injuries were too complicated. So I was transferred to St. Joseph's in Koforidua Eastern region the next day, where they did the first surgery on my arm and first surgery on my leg, and there were complications still after. So they did another one on my leg and a second one on my arm. So that was 4 surgeries. After that, there were still complications in my arm. The injury to my arm was in the distal part, that is the ending, getting to the elbow. And it wasn't a clean break, it was like a complicated break in many places. So they were having issues fixing it.